What's up, everybody? It's your old buddy Josh. It's been 3 weeks since we did a live stream. 3 weeks, everybody, and you've been begging. You say, Josh, we need you. I can't sleep at night without seeing your pearly yellows. Someone today said my pearly yellows aren't looking as yellow. I said, first of all, I said, hi, lady. And it turned out to be a dude. I said, oh, man, I'm not sure it's a dude or not. I said, well, you know, I'm open to ideas, if you know what I'm saying. I'm open to ideas. I'm diverse. I'm ready for diversity. You know, I can try some things. By the way, thank you all for the prayers for this guy right here. Hey, Finney. Okay, he's doing much better, much better. All right, if you're not following me on Facebook, that's fine. But I just posted on Facebook. Finney was sad, dude. Since we got back from Auburn last week, and we had to go back yesterday. Since we got back from Auburn last week, Finney wasn't eating or anything. He was hey, Sarasota Ted is in the house. Sarasota Ted. Sarasota Ted. All right, now, dude, Kirk, we don't want Nick Fuentes. I know you're saying that. I don't want Ben Shapiro. I don't want Nick Fuentes. I don't want either of those guys. And I don't think we have to settle for those clowns, either of them. Ben Shapiro's a clown. Nick Fuentes is a clown. Does Ben Shapiro say some things I like? Sure. Does Nick Fuentes say some things I like? Sure. But they don't represent me, man. Absolutely not. Anyway, so when we got back, he wasn't eating. He was just sitting in his crate all the time. I was like, what the hell is going on? So then I was watching him. So he finally went outside after 2 days, and he did his little run, but it was only like 2 laps. And normally does a lot more. And then he just stopped, and he kind of looked over, and he just flopped. And I was like, what? And he, when he lays down, he flops sometimes, but not the way he did. And then he was just like laying there on his side, just laying there. And I was like, what's going on? So I went to give him a snuggle, and he just wasn't moving. His tail was just barely wagging. I said, that's weird. So I said, let me go get his leash in a TREAT. And I said, I hope he's moved since. I mean, I thought, I was like, is he dying? It was scary. And then I was finally able to get him up and stuff, but it was scary. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Finney. And then the next day, or was that night? I think that night where he's coming inside, and he just fell over again and was laying like Superman style. He's never laid like that, and he couldn't move. And he started peeing all over the place. I was like, what the hell is going on? It was scary. So he took him to the emergency room, emergency vet place, and he said he might be anemic or might have some kind of immune deficiency or something like that. They did X-rays, cost us $2,000, but they gave him like a steroid, and he's been pretty good since. He hasn't had any issues at all. So, and they gave him this like gastrointestinal food thing or like that, and he's been great. So he's basically was down and out for about 3 to 4 days. Blood work is kind of low. I mean, his red blood cells. So I think he got some autoimmune deficiency or something like that. But man, he's doing much better. Now it's just, dude, I was a mess because we're coming out. I was getting ready to take him to the vet, and he would just do the same thing. Like just fell over while I was getting ready to put him in the car, and he just could not move. And I was like crying. I was like, vet bills aren't. I know, man. I might have to get pet insurance. I thought that was crazy. Dude. Pet insurance. I think USA offered pet insurance. I might have to take them up on that because it's insane how expensive it is. And I was like, man, I was crying. I mean, I was just a basket case. I was like, yeah, I mean, he's only 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I can't lose my Finney. And Pablo's like, what the hell's going on? What's wrong with Finney? Because Finney was, one time we were laying in a bed and he wasn't moving much, just watching the show. And Pablo, when Pablo's ready to go, Finney's like, let's go. They fight, friendly fights, you know what I'm saying? Like brothers. And Pablo's like, let's go, Finney, let's go. And Finney's like, no. I'm just not having it. And Pablo's like, what the hell, let's go. And Finney's like, no, it's crazy. I was like, what the hell? I vote we do not discuss Charlie tonight other than a prayer at the end. I could go crazy. Let the man rip. Yeah, he is ripping. I am going to show you something, though. That's this one I just posted, actually. Let me find it. This is fantastic. This guy right here, while we're talking about that. If that's okay with Ted, Sarasota Ted, we're going to go up here. So I've been following this guy. You can make up your mind, puppy? All right. been following this guy Ryan Fournier or something like that. And watch this right here. This right here is crazy. Whew. Charlie in heaven is somewhere in heaven calming Erden down. I thought that was, that's freaking fantastic. Let's repost that. Look at that. There's Ernia. I guess that's how you say her name. And that's, dude, crazy. Ugh. Instead of spending $2K, send a little to poor old retired farmer. Oh boy, there's always gonna be some clown. Always gonna be some guy in here. How do I stop this? Okay, there we go. Always gotta be a guy, freaking some stupid farmer in Minnesota. Where are you at? Montana, I think. Prairie Mark is like, I'm a poor farmer. Send me your money. That was actually pretty funny though. Ted says he'll allow it once. Okay. Ryan is getting assassin cheerleaders can 100%. Andrew, absolutely right, dude. If you're not following my man Ryan Fournier, the guy's crushing, man. Because now, oh, by the way, I am going to show you if Ted will allow. We got you want to walk down this site too, right here. Oops. Hold on a second. If Ted will allow it. Ted controls the thing here. Clemson was, dude, I tell you, man, dude, Clemson had a lot of whiteys. I was stunned. I was like, Clemson with a lot of whiteys? I was like, oh, man. I'd love to see Tech win, but I was like, can you at least let the teams with white guys win once in a while? Anyway, so check this out. This is a good website to go to. Share screen. This is charliesmurderers.com. And it sounds morbid, but it is morbid. It is morbid. Charlie Kirk was murdered. As an employee or student of yours supporting political violence online, look them up on this website. This website will soon be converted to a searchable database of over 30,000 submissions filtered by general location and job industry. This is a permanent and continuously updating archive of radical activists calling for violence. Yep. That's fantastic, dude. We got to join the mailing list. So this is charliesmurderers.com. Right there. Boink. So definitely give that a look over, because I was just telling my wife, it's like, so Ryan had posted something on this guy at some restaurant up in Winchester, Virginia, who's like a server. I was like, it's crazy now. We got to think I went to Starbucks to do some work today, and where I live isn't a bunch of, furries and all that stuff. I mean, it's not that, I don't think. But I was like, man, maybe some of these guys are freaking nuts, and they're like, they're going to go Bill Cosby on me. You know what I'm saying? In my drink. You don't know anymore. I mean, it's one thing if it's just like a couple of clowns, like that stupid idiot Matthew Dowd. You're like, that guy's a dumbass. But it's like, we're getting like real people putting their real names. Like some chick said, don't just stop at Charlie, go after his wife and kids. Well, I can't post that. I guess I can't post that. Sorry. It won't let me post it. Oh, UGA just tied it up. All right, cool. So anyways, charliesmurderers.com. Grew up in Montana, retired in Iowa. Corn is 10 feet. Wow. You're in Iowa, Mark? I thought you were in Montana. What's up, man? I'm going to post Charlie's M bump. You know what I'm saying. mderers.com. Anyway, I don't think about it. 2 lives ruined. Charlie's mderers. I didn't know you're in Iowa. Why was my wife and I talking about Iowa the other day? We're talking about Iowa for some reason. I said we should retire to Iowa. Why were we talking about that? Because Iowa's my new team in football. I still got to go for Georgia. It's still Georgia. But I'm at Tech. I'm going for Georgia. I'd like to see Georgia beat Tennessee so that way Tech can beat Georgia. That'd be great. But Iowa obviously is my team now for sure. My buddy just got back from Cedar Rapids, went dove hunting there. But what does that think about him and his family? Yeah. I think it's more than that, dude. I think it's just, the whole freaking the alphabet mafia and the silent P's. These people are, the furries, people are crazy. People are crazy. It's nuts. And they're identifying themselves as like that. It's weird. And I'm just like, it's kind of creepy. So we got bring back bullying in schools. You know what I'm saying? Because people like this would shut the hell up. But now they, for some reason, they feel like they have authority over everybody else. Iowa, idiot out walking around. You were better off before the promotions of these lifestyles. We were, yeah, 100%, man. That's what I'm saying. I don't care. You want to be freaking, Dave Rubin? I don't give a crap. I literally don't care. I vacillate. I think it should be illegal to be married. I just, frankly, I don't care. I don't care. You want to go do? It doesn't bother me in the least. You know what I'm saying? But we're promoting this stuff, and that's not good. And so now people get, essentially wealthy white people, essentially what it is, get the first time in their life they get the ability to claim victimhoods because they've been all chastised for being white, and so they're like, oh well, I get to claim a victimhood because I'm a furry. It's crazy. I mean, you got to be rich to be like this. It's nuts. Anyway, so good for them for exposing their ignorance. 100%, Don. 100%. Anyways, I thought that's pretty interesting. All right, keep me on the loop of what's going on in Georgia and Tennessee because I still can't believe freaking Tennessee got that. This freaking Georgia was spanking them. It was going to be a third and out. The quarterback Tennessee is just sucking wind, and he throws up this just Hail Mary essentially, and the freaking Tennessee wide receiver totally pass interference on the Georgia guy. It wasn't close. Totally just pulled him around, pushed off him, and the ball bounced off the Georgia guy into the arms of the Tennessee guy. And I was like, how is that? I said, that's not going to be called. I mean, that's not going to be a touchdown. There's no way they're calling that. They're not calling that. Sure enough, they did it. I said, what the hell, man? Yeah, no, Kirk, I'm surprised you're falling for this. No, this isn't both sides anymore. It's just not. It's not even close. Not even close to both sides. It's not. I'm surprised you're falling for that, Kirk. It's just this weird because regardless of the Groyper chat, who cares? They're not doing anything. They're just not. The people on the left are. That's just a fact. And they're calling for more of this stuff. And I'm surprised that you fell for that. It's weird to me. This whole thing, both sides. No, it's not both sides. It's one side. One side. A lot of quality German and Swedish stock in Iowa. Ooh, nice. Yeah, see, that's the problem though. I don't think they see. Maybe I'm more liberal than you, Penelope, on this. I'm surprised to say that, but my mom used to work in Portland, Maine, in the early '80s at basically a gay restaurant. She's an accountant for a gay restaurant, bookkeeper, and all these guys are dying from AIDS and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I remember her telling me about that. I said, why do they keep doing it? She goes, well, basically because they have death wishes. A lot of these guys. I said, really? And it's sad. Now, what I don't know. But anyway, the point being but some of these guys are just naturally gay. They just naturally are attracted to the same sex. Now, I don't get it. I mean, I'm not, Prairie Mark came around here with no pants on. I'd be like, dude, walk away. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see that. The last thing I want to do is see a naked dude. I see one every day in the mirror, and I don't like what I see. I don't want to see a naked dude, man. It's disgusting. But I like chicks. Always have, always will. Always like chicks. You know what I'm saying? And so I was born like that. It's not, and I don't think it's necessarily, I mean, whatever it is. And I do think there are people who are born gay. Because how else could you find it? Unless you're molested or something like that by a priest or by some freaking Boy Scout guy or some freaking, wrestling coach or something like that. How else could you find 3rd and 8 Tennessee? Man, that doesn't, what? Okay. Freaking Fern Fins. I'm going to ban you. 3rd and 8 Tennessee ball. What does that tell me, Fern Fins? Are they at the freaking Georgia 11? Are they at their own 11? What the hell's going on, Fern Fins? How much time's left on the clock? Are they at midfield? Could they kick a field goal to win this game? Freaking Fern Fins. Now he just says first down. You're banned, dude. I'm banning Fern Fins. Freaking worst commentary ever about football. Freaking Fern Fins. Oh, first down. At the Tennessee 40. How much time's left on the clock? What the hell, man? Fern Fins. How much timeouts does Tennessee have? It's a tied game. Yeah, but chats, I mean, I almost called you Nick. Kirk. Chats are one thing. They still got a minute 29 left. They're their own. Yeah, okay, freaking Georgia. Tennessee's gonna lose. I mean, I still think Clay Travis paid off the freaking refs. That guy isn't all that good. Diego freaking Garcia, whatever his name is. I'm like, 1st and 10. No, I 100%. Well, now they do, Penelope, but back in the day, a lot of these guys just like, I'm not attracted to women. I'm attracted to freaking, Joe Snuffy over here, and we have a relationship, and why can't we get married and have joint tennis rights or married filing jointly tax status? I don't care. I don't have no problem with that. Well, you're trying to come in here without your pants on, Mark. I said, get back to Iowa. Yeah, exactly. Fern Finn's edge of our seats. Yeah, Fern Finn's freaking loser. I bet Fern Finn's likes freaking Alabama. Freaking can't stand Alabama. Anyway, what was I saying? But no, I like Jason. I listen to him every day, 100%. Dude, Jason Whitlock is my man on this stuff, 100%. I like Whitlock because he's not afraid to. I mean, he had E. Michael Jones on the channel. He had all these guys I like. In terms of I listen to on a not listen to, but I know they have a different point of view than is allowed in the mainstream media. Jason Whitlock doesn't care, and he's on Glenn Beck's channel. You know what I'm saying? You can't get a bigger pro-Israeli guy than Glenn Beck, that's for sure. So the fact that Jason Whitlock's having these guys, I think is fantastic. And Whitlock, he's just like me. He likes sports. He's my age, a couple of years older than me, but he also knows that there's a lot more to meet the eye than what's going on. In fact, one guy posted today, my man Michael Yawn. I had to watch the whole video, but he says this whole thing with Charlie Kirk is a complete psyop, and I forgot what he said. I was like, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I actually think. I think that has something to do with it, but I actually think they're just lonely, like Penelope was saying. 1st and 10 at UJ 35 with 42 seconds left. Yeah, no, that's game. Well, but Prairie Mark, he's like me, Penelope. He sees a naked man every day, and he doesn't like what he sees. And I think they're all lonely, and they're as such. But I also think they're also jealous of not being able to claim some kind of privilege, if that makes sense. And I mean real privilege, not stupid white privilege. But I think they're really jealous of being able to say, "I like the idea of being a victim." I really believe that there's this need to be a victim in society today. And these lonely people say, "I can't. I'm not a good athlete. I'm not probably a great student." But I can be a freaking furry. You know what I'm saying? It's just and then they get preyed on, and then they turn crazy, man. The transfer report, no loyalty to schools. Yeah, I know. I completely agree. You should only bill a transfer once or twice, 100%. Now that you're getting paid, you should bill. Yeah, should have to sign a contract for sure. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty interesting, but good call, Penelope. I do agree. There are a lot of children without a man in the house, but apparently this guy, his dad was around. You know what I'm saying? And without a man in the house, you're easy prey on some perv. That's just a fact. And I'm not even sure these pervs that are just gay guys. I just think they're freaking pervs, peds. You know what I'm saying? That they like to. Like, I don't even think those priests who were molesting all these people, I don't even think they're gay. I just think they're freaking evil. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like the whole anti-gay stuff. I mean, I don't like the promotion of gays. I don't think we shouldn't be promoting this stuff. There's a certain way we should promote things, which is a nuclear family. But I don't want to be like, because I don't like that. Like, and frankly, even if I don't like trans so much, but I don't like this whole thing. We're going to hold out a whole group of people because the actions of a couple, I don't like that at all. And I just don't think we should do that. Trans, I think there's more to it in terms of emotionally and mentally, the stability there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I interviewed my man, or he calls himself a woman now, Pam. I said, how'd you, because, she'd like to be called she, and, she's respectable. So I call her she. She's not a woman. And I don't think he said whatever. She's definitely not. She's not a chick. There's no two ways around that. You still got to worry about prostate cancer and all that. Yeah, that's my go-to retirement plan: marry a young Filipina and put her to work. But he's not crazy. But at the end of the day, I think there's a significant number of those people who are. And but what do? You freaking monitor them and all that. I don't know. it's just at some point, and this is what I said on the Facebook page today. It's like, I don't like this whole, what did I say? I don't know. I just like, I'll read what I said here. Because I do want to call people out who are calling for for these people need to lose their jobs. When a guy gets killed and you're celebrating it, you should lose your jobs. You shouldn't go to jail. Well, it depends on what you're saying. I mean, I don't want, and if you're just saying, hey, Charlie Kirk is DEAD, yay, well, you shouldn't go to jail for that, but you certainly should lose your job without question. Anyway, so I posted this earlier today. I said right here, believe it or not, I've got some friends right here on Facebook who are big libs. I don't think they want me dead, and I don't want them dead either. Yes, there are some crazy loons out there, mainly on the left, but they're a small percentage of the population. They can do harm indeed, but the likelihood of that happening is still so remote, it's not worth worrying about. In fact, and then I said, I'll never forget after 9/11, when anti-Muslim uproar was just beginning. Rush Limbaugh said something along the lines of, quote, don't blame Muslims for what these evil people did. If even 1% of the Muslim population was as evil, we'd all be dead by now. It's just a tiny group of insane people who happen to be Muslim. And nothing made me more proud of Rush Limbaugh than that right there. It was 100%. I'll never forget that. I remember where I was driving. I remember everything about that. Of course, we now know that 9/11 wasn't what we were told. We had the idea of 18 Saudi Cessna pilots. I don't buy it. So it's good we didn't blame an entire group for the actions of a couple clowns. So 7 seconds, field goal team coming out. We went to, I don't know, there's so many. Even Portland, Oregon Trans is losing popularity. All right, George. So it's going to be a 35-yard field goal, 7 seconds left. Yeah, this is a chip shot nowadays, dude. Let's get a block for a touchdown. Look at Joey Torres. Joey Torres. What's your team, Joey Torres? Max Gilver. Oh, it sounds like he's German, so you know he's going to hit. Oh, it's Gilbert. All right, well, if he's German, you know he's going to make it. All right. Anyway, well, freaking Fern Fins is telling us what's going on here. Freaking guarantees to be hit, and then Georgia wins. Hey, what's up, Tom? Notre Dame's playing Texas A&M. What do you got? What do you got? I guarantee Texas A&M gets a win. The SEC looks tough this year, my friends, which pains me to say, but they're, other than Florida and Texas losing, the SEC is looking good. They've beat everybody in their path. The Big Ten does not look good. Ohio State maybe, but the Big Ten doesn't look good. Michigan sucks. It's just not a good conference this year. And I started to wonder, and Penelope appreciate this because she's a big football fan, lived in Southern California, and is a 70-odd-year-old lady who worked in way to go, Vape King. I'm going to the Freiburg Fair. Got the mortgage in Texas. University UM fan, no Bama Josh. M being Miami. What? I don't know. What's UM? Michigan, Montana. What's UM? Maryland? Is that Fern Fins? Is that Maryland? My Ducks didn't cover. Anyway, it just looks like the SEC. I thought the Miami. Okay, the U. I hope you guys lose to South Florida, but the last I saw it looked like you guys were not. So. Anyway, the looks like the SEC is going to be able to pay these players more than other conferences. I thought this would be the great equalizer for the NIL and the transfers, all this, and I don't think that's the case at all. I think the SEC is got more money than any other conference out there. And the reason is because the SEC guys are just, I mean, literally, it's almost like they tied to the football. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, just it's nuts how these guys, take down. I'm not a big Georgia fan, but, if they're playing an SEC school, I want them to win. I'm going to I'm going to oh, yeah, Penelope, definitely go up to that pineapple farm. It is fantastic. I wasn't all that impressed with Maui. Everyone and their mom says Maui's so great. It's okay. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's okay. But that freaking pineapple farm, I forgot what it's called, Maui Pineapples. Dude, it is fantastic. It's fantastic. The pineapple is it was everything you could possibly ask for. You're like in the country on a hill overlooking the water. I mean, the water's that way, but it got this nice wind. The pineapple's just to die for. And then if they give you the tour, you'll find out what free trade did to American companies. They won't say this explicitly, but put two and two together. Remember what I said about tariffs, all right? You like Covington? You like Covington, Georgia, Josh? I don't know where that is. You Montana Grizzlies, yeah. I don't know what Covington, Georgia is. I don't know where that is. But no way they missed. No, I don't believe you, Tom. Liam! Wait! Oh, sweet. Hey, you got to hit that pineapple farm. It's not cheap, but, dude, it's worth it. All right, let's go to this Vanguard thing. So it's 25 minutes in. We're going to talk about the topic. Yeah. Dude, Tennessee missed. Oh, man, what if Georgia came back and won? What if Georgia Tech beat Clemson and freaking Georgia beat Tennessee? That'd be like a great day. Wide right. Where have we heard that before? All right, who knows where we've heard wide right before? First guy who says this wins my heart for the day. Penelope, what does wide right mean? Marie's here. What does wide right mean? Marie might know, given where she lives. I bet Penelope doesn't. All right, who knows what wide right means? Anyone? Let's see. Wide right. Wide right. Oh, man, I can't believe it. FSU Miami. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was wide right, but yeah, right on. Freaking, yeah, FSU Miami. I remember that one. That sucked, but yeah, trying to stay on task. I was laces out, Dan. Oh, you play football, Chris Jackson? Oh, false start. Yeah, but that wide right was the Bill Scott Norwood against the Giants. And being an NFC East team fan back then, I like the Redskins, you know what I'm saying, because we lived in that area, but I did not want to see the freaking Giants win. All right, there's Fast Eddie's here. Okay, all right, come on, Georgia. All right, what are you guys OT at? What the hell is going on? We got Fast Eddie's drunk. And then he says, going OT. And then freaking DB Douglas is saying at. Dude, you guys stop with the freaking drinking, man. Good night, OT. Thank you. Look at Joey Torres. Did you say what your team was, Joey? I didn't catch you. Torres, his team's probably the New Mexico State Aztecs. No, that's not New Mexico State. Are they the Aztecs? New Mexico State. No, San Diego State Aztecs. Did Texas end up winning? I see the homeless guy who can't shave still has a YouTube channel. That's right, dude. Woo! It's right down there. Woo! SMU. SMU had a wide right? All right, let's go. Would you guys just freaking leave me alone? Oh, good night. It's fun being back. 3 straight weeks without YouTube live streams. What did you guys do for fun? Listen to freaking, what's his name? Sarasota Ted? Yes, Buffalo Bills. Well, that's a call. Aztecs were cannibal mass killers. Very un-PC for a sports team. Yeah, 100%. Oh, by the way, Pulverizer, did you see that Michael Yon video on his take on the Charlie Kirk stuff? So I got a couple. I got a couple of videos I'm going to watch about the Charlie Kirk. I mean, the guy's dead. Don't get me wrong, but I think what is the let me see here. My watch later. My spidey senses just tingle. I'm sitting there, huh? Yeah, right here. The Jimmy Dore Show. Huge questions remain about Charlie Kirk. Are you buying this? He has this guy right here. Is he the patsy? The Lee Harvey Oswald? Then we got, what was the one I was just watching? I don't know where it was. Anyway, I had it on here. Did I not save it? I thought I did. But Michael Yon talks about this too. No, it's your basis. You're on the Josh Scanlon YouTube channel. So I got 21 people right now on Twitter, 847 on Heritage Wealth Planning, and 12 on the Josh Scanlon YouTube channel. So we got 80, 81. We were at 92 a few minutes ago. And then I went off track, and some people jumped off board. They're like, I don't want to. You haven't seen or heard from Michael Yon. No, it's YON. Michael Yon. He was a big guy talking about the Darien Gap stuff. And I think he used to be a special forces guy or something like that. And the guy's, I don't agree with everything he says, but he's interesting. I very much appreciate him for his work on calling out the Darien Gap. Oh. All right, so let's go on this. There you go. Good place. All right, my wife's taking her walk. Liam's upstairs. Oh man, George's got to win because that pass interference call really pissed me. Oh, now Finney wants to go outside. Hold on, just let me take you guys with me. Because when you give Finney this steroid, it makes him go pee a lot. So I got to take him out. Hold on just a second, amigos. But George is still going to lose. It's just what they do. They get your hearts up and then your hopes up and then they lose. That's the way I roll, man. That's the way my teams roll. There you go. All right. Everybody good? Okay. All righty. All right. I'll check him out. Yeah. No, he's good. Good guy. Michael Yon, Y-O-N. I would have thought you, of all people, pulled for us. Know him. 26, Miami. Yeah, freaking Carson Beck. And y'all got in Miami, you got you signed a guy from Milton High School that my kids went to high school with. Not high school with, they went to middle school with. Yeah, he seems like he's doing okay, Penelope. He seems like he's doing okay. And if you were here on time, you would have heard the story, but apparently you're tardy. All right, so let's just saying, Penelope, maybe show up on time once in a while. That's probably why you didn't graduate college, because you never showed up to work on time. Just throwing it out there. Penelope. We can learn a thing from your elders. So someone has sent it. I forgot who it was. Very interesting, this Vanguard thing. And I was going to do a video, and I've had it on my thing here for a long time. I just keep forgetting. Fully paid lending program. Very interesting. I don't have enough to do this because I have everything in basically ETS, but our fully paid lending program allows you to potentially generate additional income in your portfolio by lending your shares. If you're holding in-demand securities, your securities may be selected to be loaned out. When shares are loaned out, you'll earn income, which will be paid to you monthly. Very interesting. How does security lending work? After you enroll, Vanguard is a Vanguard brokerage account. It can't be an IRA. Vanguard brokerage may borrow shares that you hold and lend them to counterparties who are seeking to borrow such shares. A lot of times people are shorting and things of that nature. You'll receive income from the Vanguard program on any borrowed security. Income accrues daily. So these guys who borrow the shares are paying Vanguard for the right to borrow your shares, right? And they're going to pay them an income, which Vanguard will transfer some of that to you. When your loan is closed, all your shares will be returned back to you. So give an idea here. You say you're loaning 5,000 shares of a certain stock that's trading at $25 a pop. Your annualized lending rate is 7.5%, which means you're making $781 a year just by lending out your shares. All right, pretty interesting. That's real money, Who's eligible to participate? To participate, you must have at least $500,000 in a Vanguard brokerage account. All right. While most brokerage account registration types are eligible to participate, brokerage accounts enrolled in a Vanguard affiliate or margin accounts are not eligible. You can't have a margin account, i.e., borrowing money in order to buy stocks. It's got to be just a Vanguard brokerage account. We already talked about you could earn additional money. You're safeguarded with cash collateral. The borrower of your shares must provide collateral that is at least 102% of the daily market value of the securities. 102% of the daily market value. Interesting. So the borrower can't say, hey, basically your security is going way, way, way down in price. The borrower has to come up with the money to basically hold those borrowed shares. You maintain ownership. You can sell your shares or leave the program at any time. Interesting. So far, sounds pretty good. How is that taxed? I'm sure it's just ordinary income. I'm on Hopcon. How are you? You're at Hotepcon? What the hell's Hotepcon? Hotepcon. Oh, Hotep. That guy. Oh, he's got a thing going on. All right, come on, man. Just get the field goal. Let Georgia. Let my man, that white running back, number 32. What's his name? Cash something. Cash Jones, let him get the touchdown to win. Come on, man. Yeah, come on. Give it to my man Cash Jones. Let him score. How's that? I'm sure it's taxed as ordinary income. There's interest income. Let me just close this door. Hold on a second. Everybody back? No, we're staying in. Come here, puppy. You're good. We're staying in. There we go. Good boy. Good boy, puppy. No, we're staying. Here you go. Come on. You staying out there? You're coming in. Come on, baby. You staying? You're coming. Come on, pup. All right. All right. So anyway, excuse me. And I didn't even know about this until this guy sent it to me. I forgot the guy's name off the top of my head. But 24-yard run. Oh man, come on, baby. That means you gotta get just 1 yard. Participation involves certain risks, and there's no guarantee your shares will be borrowed or that you'll earn any money unless they borrow the shares. The duration of the loan may vary. When your shares are loaning, your voting rights are temporarily transferred to the borrower. So if you own the shares and they have a proxy vote, I should say, you don't get to vote the shares. The borrower gets to vote, which is kind of interesting. They're not covered by SIPC. So in the event that Vanguard goes kaput, you have the right to collateral held on your behalf, and that collateral is 102% of the market value. Borrow shares can be used to facilitate a short sale, as we just talked about, which can influence the price of security. And I don't buy that too much, but I get it. This is interesting. This is what I don't know in terms of taxation. If your security on loan pays a dividend, you'll receive a substitute payment that could have tax consequences different from the dividend payment made on the shares held in your account. So that sounds like it's not going to be tracked. First and goal. Come on. Frazier, come on. Come on, Frazier. Stick that ball in there. Come on, freaking Gunner Stockton. I'm not a Georgia fan, but I just hate Tennessee. So anyway, if you have a dividend, you'll receive a substitute payment. I'm almost positive that's not taxed as a qualified dividend, but I don't know. Fern fans, I don't want to hear any posts other than what's going on in the football game. You're going to be banned if you post anything until this game is over. I just want to hear that Georgia got the win. That's all I care about. While your security is on loan, the lending rate will adjust frequently with the lending market, meaning the rate may not be fixed during the life of the loan. Let's see. Participation requires eligibility right here. Client determined appropriateness and enrollment. So none of you guys are appropriate enough to do this. So Vanguard say no. Loans are collateralized, but there's still a risk of loss in the event of bankruptcy. Vanguard Brokerage maintains an economic interest in the fully laid program and earns revenue in connection with such loans. So I'm not sure how much Vanguard gets. So let's see. Why is Vanguard offering this? We offer this new product to our clients to provide another investment option. We're not acting as an agent or fiduciary with respect to any loans. Let's see here. Will I receive cash dividend right here? Cash dividends paid on securities will be credited to your Vanguard brokerage account in form of a cash in lieu payment. Let's see. Receipt of cash in lieu payments may have a different taxable consequence than the receipt of the actual dividend from the user. In order to mitigate the cash in lieu payments to taxable accounts, Vanguard brokerage may return shares prior to a dividend record date. So I don't know how that works, but to help offset the potential tax burden associated with the receipt in this non-dividend dividend, Vanguard brokerage will credit participating taxable accounts with additional credit reimbursement. Interesting. This credit is equal to 27% of the substitute payment amount. This will allow for a credit to be eligible to the highest tax bracket of 37%. So you're going to get. No, Vanguard is doing it to make the. Vanguard is doing it to make the big. Do I know Prison Mike from The Office? Devin! Look at Devin, man. Devin was just taking. Where were you just with Rick Beato? I saw you went to a Rick Beato thing on Facebook. Look at my man, Devin. 3rd and goal now? Oh, my goodness. Characterizes interest, therefore has ordinary income, but they're going to make up the difference, it seems like, for sure. Vanguard's doing it to make the big. I don't get it. Make the big game, Georgia. Yes. Take that, Rocky Top. Suckers. Review to see if they scored. Oh, good. Yeah, Devin, you're all over the place up there in Tennessee. What's going on with you, man? I mean, I see Devin. I'm friends with Devin on Facebook, and I see Devin everywhere. I'm going to these shows and stuff. Devin, you still got your YouTube channel? Yeah, Rick Beata was awesome, man. Right on, man. He's good. He's in Atlanta. Any chance of a 50 base? I think there is a decent chance on that for sure, Kirk. Until they find out that you think Kirk says it's both sides. I'm goofing on you, Kirk. Don't get mad. I'm goofing on you. So a BlackRock type business could borrow your shares to guide a company how they like. Yes. Well, I guarantee BlackRock can do that anyway. Trust me. I don't think BlackRock needs, your 5,000 shares. But, with that said, yes, but that's absolutely true. I mean, because they get the voting. So if BlackRock says, hey, man, whoever's got a bunch of Tesla shares and we want to kick Elon out of there, we're going to borrow up these. But remember, it costs them money. And I'm not sure what it is, basically margin loans. I don't know what they cost, but that's, I mean, so the question is, would it be worth it for BlackRock to do that? I don't think so. But hey, just tell my wife, would you? Tell my wife that I'm the best. I'm the best in some place that's even more important. Tell her, say, Josh is the best, if you know what I'm saying, Charlotte. He's the best. And she'd be like, really? I didn't know that. I said, well, how do you think we got 4 kids? She'd be like, yeah, I don't remember any of that. We just had our 26th wedding anniversary, by the way, Charlotte and I. 26 years together, and we were dating for 4 years previous to that. So I'm 55 years old. Charlotte's been in my life over half of my life. She's 51. I've been in her life over half of her life plus. And here we are. No, there's people like MGTOW. I'm like, dude, you get a freaking good wife. You're loving it, man. I hate that MGTOW stuff. Look, I get it. Women take advantage of this. I hell, I know what happened to my mom, my dad. I get it. What I'm saying. But at the end of the day, a man needs a good woman. That's just a fact, because a lot of men are very, what's the word I'm looking for? They can get very hostile, very rambunctious, and they need a calming influence, especially if they don't have a good relationship with Jesus. You see what I'm saying? And so they need a different outlet, which is their wife, to calm them down. Men are we're freaking hyper. We want to crush. And when things aren't going our way, a lot of us can fall for the crushing in a bad way, for sure. Like that, we see it all the time. Hey, thanks, man. Big Tao. Who's blowing their nose? That's Pablo. Pablo's he sucks on these freaking blankets, and he gets all this snot in his lungs. It's like, Pablo, you gotta stop that. Anyway, all right, let's keep going here. These guys will just stop their talking. All right, so right here, the credit adjustment percentage may be increased or decreased from time to time by Vanguard brokerage. It does not guarantee that adjustment will be sufficient to eliminate the full additional tax burden with a dividend distribution. All right, that's still Vanguard's pretty good. I'd like to see how much Vanguard gets paid. How much additional income can I make? They're not going to tell you how much. Yeah, right here. What if I need to sell my securities when they're on loan? You can sell your shares at any time. If the shares you sell are on loan, the loan will be terminated. What securities are most likely to be loaned? The securities most likely to be loaned are those that the market deems hard to borrow, which refers to those with scarce supply or high in demand for short selling. Again, it's all about short selling. I would think it'd be heavily volatile shares, but I don't know that, because that's more option based, not necessarily margin or shorting. So I think it'd be heavily shares that maybe they had a couple guys like George Soros. You know what I'm saying? George Soros says, I don't think what's that one company? There's a guy who's going off on a company. Was it Soros? I don't know. We'll just pick on a freaking Procter & Gamble. We said, oh, man, Cracker Barrel. We'll say, Procter & Gamble just hired some crazy loon CEO with big fat glasses who, raises her voice when she talks. I didn't know. Do you like the bacon? 2 + 2 is 4. And she has those big stupid glasses on. She went to Vassar or something like that, or NYU. And so we'll freaking, not George Soros, but whatever. He'll come in and say, man, that company's going to fail, because it will be. And anytime you get a chick CEO with those big fat glasses, who's from New York City or Boston or something like that, they're going to fail. All these, because these are all clowns. And that's probably a great way to make money on shorting. So you just have to find, do I own Cracker Barrel shares? And I'm just using that now. And if I do, that'd probably be a good one that some short guy would say, come in and I'm going to go short on that. Yeah, right on, man. Right on. Hard to find, Josh. All my friends are broken, divorced men. I get, dude. Do not take. I'm not saying that's not 100%. I'm not saying that's not true. I'm not saying that women don't initiate most of the divorce. I'm not saying that at all. Don't get me wrong. Do not make this sound like I'm cucking out to women. Not in the least. I'm just not. I just know at the end of the day, as being a man who's a pretty high testosterone, pretty aggressive guy, that my wife had a huge, what's the word I'm looking for? Calming influence on me. You know what I'm saying? Getting rid of alcohol, I would have done it if I wasn't married. That's just fact. Having a better relationship with God, that I started to do that after we got married. You see what I'm saying? Having kids and all that. I think getting up drinking is a big one for sure. But trust me, man, I get it 100%. I mean, there's some scumbag chicks out there. I got clients all the time who say, man, I was just sitting, I came home from work, and next thing I know, I got served divorce papers. We've been married 18 years, and she just said, I'll see you. I don't want to be you. And it's just like, what? I mean, I hear that all the time. Then the woman gets 50% of everything. It's crazy. But I don't like the MGTOW thing, which is this false dichotomy of men on their own good, men married bad. I find that horrible to even think like that. You might have been taken advantage of. You might be on the raw end. I get it. But as a whole, that's not saying marriage is bad. And for some men, they need it. It's critically important. That's why I don't like this whole gay propaganda, because I'm saying, man, at the end of the day, we're turning away from what we know is good for a society that's building, which is nuclear families. Generally, don't get mad at me, Penelope, with a woman staying home to raise the kids. And I don't know if I got that book still back there. Yeah, what I'm saying. A good woman or a journey song. I bet Vanguard gets an account opening fee. This goes to fine. Did you used to have a guitar as your freaking avatar? Didn't I ask that before? Fembots are when the site women will be obsolete. Well, I don't think women will be obsolete. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because men won't have they won't be getting jiggy with women and getting them pregnant. I don't know, man. Yeah, what happened to your guitar thing? Are you still? Is that a guitar you got there, or are you just working out? You got roids. You doing roids there, Broken Arrow? Look at you, man. You look like you're friggin' big. You're roiding up. I think Broken Arrow is roiding up. That's a bass right there. I gotcha. I was just listening. Speaking of Rick Beato, there, freaking Devin. I was just listening to Rick Beato interview with Les Claypool. I did not know that Les Claypool went to school with the guy from Metallica, Kurt, whatever his name is. No, I think you're roiding. You know it. You're roiding, dude. I'm goofing on you. Jill, thanks for helping me, my wife, Jill. Okay. That sounds a little bit weird. How did I help her? You show her how a real man has to act? Is that what you're saying? I said, Jill's like, Broken Arrow, I need a real man or else I'm leaving you. And you said, watch this guy, Josh. He'll tell me. And she goes, yes, you need to follow Josh. He'll be a real man and how to lead you where you need to be. The week you have a talk with her. This week you have a talk. Oh, I do? Yikes. About investments? Yikes. I think she emailed me, said, Josh, Broken Arrow thinks I want to have a talk about investments, but I really want to talk about how he can be a real man. I'll say, tell him to get off the roids, man. Broken Arrow's got roid rage, and we don't need roids around here, especially when we know what roids does to your performing parts down below, if you know what I'm saying. You don't want the performing parts down below to go like the way you play your bass, which is, without any freaking consistency, if you know what I'm saying. Those pearly yellows. Pastor is on the trad wife, happy life message of late, baking bread and nursing babies. Yeah, 30 year right on, man. Well, because we've known each other for 31 years. So before your wife, Jill, married you, she said, Josh, tell Broken Arrow, this is, 1996, 1994, how to be a man. I'm not sure I even like this whole trad wife thing either. I get it, traditional. I mean, I get it, but I don't like the whole pushing it as take those. Do you know that? Take those broken wings. Horrible song, Paul Costa. And if you ever make me listen, put that horrible song in my head again, I'm going to ban you forever. Oh, take these broken wings. Oh, Paul Costa, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? That song, like, I would rather listen to freaking Lady Gaga than that 80s crap. Oh, gosh. I had to listen to all that on the way home from Auburn yesterday with my wife. I was like, oh, because I don't really wear the pants in the family. So what is some music? I don't want to listen to Jason Whitlock anymore. And we're also listening to Les Claypool being interviewed by Rick Beato. I want to listen to music. I'm like, dude, I'm literally going to drive off a cliff. It's so bad. The 80s, I was going to interview this guy, man. He's up your way, Devin. I guess he moved from Devin to from Nashville down to Florida now. He was playing like glam rock bands in Nashville. I wanted to interview him, but he didn't want to interview. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's Bad Brad or something like that. And I said, I just want to know what happened for bands like Foreigner to go from Jukebox Hero to the stupid, horrible songs that they played in the 80s. Like, I just waiting for a friend like you. Just horrible stuff. What happened? Jukebox Hero to freaking that in a matter of like 6 years. Just the whole thing was so freaking. I have a special nose trick. What caused that? It's crazy to me. I'm just sitting there thinking, what is wrong? And because this guy played in rock bands from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I said, and his theory is that grunge. Sweet, come on, Notre Dame. We just need one SEC team to lose tonight. I know, but why? I 100%. I completely grant you that. But like, what? But it's just like they clean up with all the. I mean, why? I mean, like, who said? Anyway, so his theory about grunge isn't that grunge just was so magical and unique and everything. His theory is which is I never thought about this. I all think this is from above. No one listens to Lady Gaga because they like her music. They're forced to. You see what I'm saying? And I completely agree with that. But his theory about grunge taking over, because I said this stuff sucks, man. I mean, give me a break. Bash Motley Crue all you want, but the first two Motley Crue albums are freaking fantastic. I mean, that later 80s glam rock sucked, I grant you, but the old Twisted Sister, you can't stop rock. That was that 80s, early 80s metal hard rock was good. That's just a fact. The hard rock from Foreigner, that went horribly south, and Motley Crue and Judas Priest kind of went bad, but Iron Maiden, they were still, and Scorpions went bad too. They sucked. Horrible stuff, dude. Horrible. Anyway, so he wants to know. Oh my dude, 100%. That it wasn't just them either. Is that like was I listening to an interview with like Styx? Like what's the guy's name? Tommy, the guy who played guitar. He wanted to stay rocking, and the stupid guy wanted to be the singer there who played the piano. Wanted to be a little bit more, glam, not even glam rock, but. And then even Van Halen, I was listening to an interview that Eddie wanted to go more mainstream popish, and David Ross said no. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, so it's crazy. I'm just sitting there thinking, why would anyone say this is going to pay us more? Anyway, his point being was that the bands that they were signing in the late 80s were so expensive. Tommy Shaw, that's what it was. Yeah, Tommy Shaw. Yeah. The power ballad was required by record labels, ruined everything. Anyway, so his theory was the bands that they were so expensive, the glam rock bands, that they couldn't afford it anymore. And so they said, we're just going to go with these stupid Seattle guys. You see what I'm saying? And dude, I like some of that yacht rock stuff. I mean, I love the Little River Band, 100%. I mean, they got some crappy stuff, but I mean, some of that music is fantastic. But Little River Band never started out like freaking Judas Priest and then went to freaking the mid 80s Judas Priest. I'm not going to accept the opinion of a 80s music from a guy who can't put his t-shirt on right. Is my t-shirt on right? Well, Def Leppard. Good point. 100%. Oh, dude, Michael. No, that's not good. That's bad. Good for what? Banging your head off the wall? I guess my T-shirt is on Inside Out. Yeah, Def Leppard, man. Then like that first album was pretty good, and then just went to even like Whitesnake and stuff. But actually, Whitesnake had one good song ever. That was "Take Me Down Slow and Easy." Bow, 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 bow. I should ban Kirk. I completely agree. Kirk is, first of all, he's in Oregon. He should be banned, but I'm gentle. I'm a gentle guy, so we're not gonna. And what the hell was I say? Oh, and then we had then Metallica went soft. You know what I'm saying? Metallica. I mean, I was like, dude, this guy was saying, good friend of mine. I used to be in a band, believe it or not, hardcore band. We played one show, and the guy who played guitar in my band, just ignore him, Kirk. Yeah, I should ignore Kirk. I agree. Yeah, AC/DC went super lame, 100%. Didn't go quite as lame as the other bands, but they went super lame. But he's like, you should listen to Injustice for All by Metallica. And I said, I never got into it. He goes, give it another listen. I said, all right. I said, no, I didn't do it. There's a couple good songs, but I was like, no, Metallica. After Master of Puppets sucked. There's a couple good songs on that, but they weren't any good. That's why I started getting more and more metal, like thrash metal, and then hardcore, because it's like, I can't take this stuff. It's just weak. Anyway, so his point again was that glam metal was getting too pricey, so they had to pay for cheaper, and they got stupid bands like Nirvana, stuff like that. And I said, yeah, that's probably a good point. I actually think is, and don't forget, going back to what Celtic Frost said here, even Celtic Frost, oh my God, Celtic Spirit said here, the power ballad, even rap albums had a freaking love song on it in the 80s. Trust me, they did. Even rap albums, not Public Enemy, not Boogie Down Productions, but some more mainstream rap musicians had a love song. Crazy. So my theory on this, Led Zeppelin 2 enough said, Ride the Lightning is pretty good. I don't care what anybody says. Slayer, Hell Awaits, and look, I'm a Christian. I probably should. You don't want to. The lyrics are off the charts. It's stupid, but that's still a freaking front to back is a great album, man. When you hear Slayer, Hell Awaits, you're like, the world will change. And then Exodus, Bonded by Blood, and these are thrash metal albums. So, but Exodus, Bonded by Blood is, you're like, damn, that's just good stuff. I mean, I could listen to that all day long. A Metal Church, they didn't quite go thrash. That 100%, I think is right. Chuck Mangione. Yeah, that name sounds familiar. Why does that name sound familiar? I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Just like bands start off hard and then go soft, 100%. That's exactly right. Yeah, I'd hope Ford beats LSU. That'd be sweet. We know Josh loves Pink. The Pulverizer like begs me. He begs me. He goes, Josh, please like Pink Floyd so you can. Rochester horn player. Okay, I definitely wouldn't know him. Oh, the King. Okay, yeah, that's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Mangione like a football coach. Who's Mangione the football coach? Okay, yeah, I wouldn't know who that guy is. People are like, you know him, Josh. Pulverize like, my life isn't validated until Josh likes Pink Floyd. I just can't get into it, man. It's freaking. There's some good songs, but I'll take the Pogue. If you want anti-war songs, I'll listen to Pogues. What was I saying here? Right here. I want to go back to, yeah. So anyway, so my theory is that you had happy music, a little bit over the top party music, glam rock, but it's happy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's have fun. Rap music was let's have fun. Now there was some, beginnings of that not happening. And then what happened was like a flip of the switch. Rap music went all gangster. And then rock music went all depressed, Seattle freaking, drug-infused losers. I think this guy is right. The mainstream music industry said we're not making enough money by paying these big bands, so we want to promote smaller bands that we can pay less. But I think there's more to it. I actually think they wanted a more depressed population, 100%, because the good times of the 80s were they didn't like it anymore. They said, man, we got to turn this, people are not being as brutal towards each other as we need. Because you take white kids in the suburbs, listen to two things, freaking that horrible Seattle crap I'm so depressed. Life sucks. And then they're promoting all the 57 flavor stuff. If you don't like 57 flavors, leave our show. Not about partying, not about anything like that. It's like freaking not. It's just life sucks, man. My name's Pearl Jam, or whatever the hell it is. And then they made rap music violent. You see what I'm saying? There's no way that just happened by happenstance. I am sorry. No way, no how. No way. And so we had, LL Cool J, Kool Moe Dee, MC Hammer and stuff like that in the 80s. I never got an LL Cool J, but what's his name? Fresh Prince. All these guys, just good, music, and some of that I didn't like that much, but a little bit too corny for me. And I do trust me, I was a huge rap fan in the mid the late 80s. I had tons of rap stuff on cassette. And then they went from, the male dominated, let's go out party, hang with chicks and stuff, glam metal, to the depressed flannel shirt, gray clouds, shooting heroin, and the rap music, let's go kill each other. I absolutely think the music industry is run by evil scumbags. Absolutely, unequivocally. And then just like grunge came in, it went out because of new metal with a hip hop metal and stuff, like Kid Rock and Limp Bizkit and all this stuff. It just came in and went out. And it's just, but the damage had been done. Hip hop was violent. Metal, was hard rock essentially. Went from freaking, just shoot heroin and have fun and just be depressed. The new metal stuff, I absolutely think is satanic. 100%. 100%. Dude. Yeah, youth today is angry because the music's so bad. Give me some Michael Bolton and Whitney Houston a bubble bath. Dude. Well, Dr. Dre in a dress was what's his name? Tupac. Dude, you've seen that guy's obviously, I'm not sure if I can say this without being sued. Let's just put it this way. Tupac wasn't into men, if you know what I'm saying. So check this out. This is crazy. People think, dude, this is why you should be a conspiracy theorist. Because once you're a conspiracy theorist and people start showing you stuff like that makes sense. That makes sense. In fact, did you know, Pulverize, you're like this. I just posted this too on Facebook today. I don't know if I posted on X. I probably did, but I post so much stuff on X that it's easy to find on Facebook. Oh my goodness. I said on Facebook, I have no son. Liam doesn't think the Tennessee wide receiver pushed off to get that game-changing touchdown. And this lady says, I will claim him. That's funny. That cracks me up. All right, let me see my other post today on the conspiracy stuff, because this is fun. I didn't know this. And I'm a conspiracy theorist. Check this out. Would you make up your mind what you want to do? So right here, hold on just a second. Okay, right there. That's a good post. Please wake up. The lion is sleeping. And the white girl's like, someone has to save us. Why are you sleeping while we're under attack? They should have made that like her being attacked. That's what they should have made. It would have been much more effective, but it's still pretty effective. Again, just in case you haven't seen it, because, like people like Penelope show up late. Right there. A great video or image. Charlie Kirk is somewhere in heaven calming Ernia. That's great, dude. That's fantastic. Ernia turned out had just bought a car, had a boyfriend. If I'm that boyfriend, I'm not in a good place right now. I'll tell you that right now. So I would want justice, if that makes sense. All right, so let me find this right here. Want to see something funny? Look at this guy. That's T. Keith Glennon. Who is T. Keith Glennon, you're asking? Well, let me tell you. T. Keith Glennon was the first administrator of NASA. Hey. Now you know Finney's back because he's working. No. He was the first. Hey, Ruckles. The first administrator of the NASA. Served from 1958 to 1961. But what did he do before that? Let's take a look. Following graduation from college, he became associated with the newly developed sound motion picture industry. During his career, he was studio manager of Paramount Pictures, Samuel Golden Studios, and was briefly on the staff of Vega Aircraft Corporation. So he went from being in pictures to being the first administrator of NASA. Then we got the Nazi, who was also big in NASA, Werner von Braun, literally Nazi, a major in the Nazis. Kind of crazy, but the moon landing happened, Josh. We have pictures. Kind of crazy. So a guy went from being in the film industry to be the first guy at NASA. Yeah, most rappers, absolutely, man. 100%. Most rappers are actually gay. Absolutely. And I'm not on Facebook. Music industry is definitely evil. Look at when rock got popular. Yeah, the Laurel Canyon stuff. All done with the LSD by the FBI and stuff like that. All done by that to get idiots to fall. It's crazy. And people fall for this. It's nuts. Share all day. Gay guys and guys. 100%, dude. That's why there's a lady. He has a YouTube channel, Panty Dropping Singers, PDS, on Black Chick. It's funny as hell because she's will listen to guys sing, and she'll say whether or not. So if people present her guys who say, "What is this? A panty dropping singer? Panty dropping singer?" Some Black Chick. So she's listening to my man from Steelheart. I forgot the guy's name, some Croatian name or something like that. We are in conspiracy. It does get interesting now. Anyway, and Werner Braun, 100%. Ted's getting it. Anyway, and she listens to that guy from Steelheart. She goes, "If you're a chick and you haven't dropped your panties by yet, you're not into men." Because it was funny. Panty dropping singers or something like that. It is so funny. Because dudes who can sing get all the ladies. Which is why I get all the ladies, because I can sing. Right here. If market is overvalued, will stocks returns be very? Yeah, I've done videos on this, Richard. Rich is my big lib. We love. I think it's still the same. Richard is a big lib, and we love him. But obviously, he doesn't watch many of my videos because I literally just did a video on this the other day. This exact same thing. So, Richard, I'd suggest you watch all my videos. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and tune in on occasion because Skinny Jean. Oh yeah, let me show you a freaking 2-pack. Dude, this guy. Auditioning. Dude, this is so funny. I'm not going to play it because I'll get banned or whatever. I'm not sure. Dude, he's so freaking feminine. It's so funny. And yet somehow he became a gangster. I'm like, give me a break. He got busted by the police. That's what chained him. I said, dude, you guys look at this. It's so funny, man. Right here, look at Candace Owens. 2-pack was an actor, not a gangster. The truth exposed. 100%. 100%. He is so, dude, it's just where you got to laugh. People will fall for anything. I don't get it. Right. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. Say, hi. Would you like to, I don't know what they're saying. Would you like to share a bedroom with me, young man? Dude, so gay. It just is so funny. It's so funny. It's actually, you got to laugh, man. If you can't laugh, I'm a conservative Democrat. Are there any conservative Democrats anymore, Richard? Are there any? I don't know, man. I would take 1 million conservative Democrats, the old school, the John Silbers of the world, and hopefully you know who that is if you're a conservative Democrat. I'll take a John Silber of the world over 85% of the Republicans. That's for sure. But there aren't any. There's no more John Silbers. They're all gone. There's no conservative Democrats. Tom Lehrer's Werner song. I'm not sure what that is. Looks sweet. He does. He does look sweet. Yeah, Joe Lieberman was not a conservative Democrat, that's for sure. He represented big insurance because he's from Connecticut. 100%. Anyway. I've seen videos where people say MC Hammer was a real gang. Yeah, 100%. Dude, 100%. MC Hammer, he was what I've seen those too. That guy, they're like, yeah, 100%, a real gangster from Oakland. He used to hustle in the streets of Oakland. And he was a bat boy for the Oakland A's. Crazy. And I actually enjoy some of these rappers like Sir Mix-a-Lot. He's freaking like a real businessman, Sir Mix-a-Lot was. Some of these guys, see, that's why I hate that. Like people just take the ticket. There's no way Snoop Dogg is authentic. No way. But he got paid by Satan. You see what I'm saying? And he took the ticket. And yet you got real guys like MC Hammer, Sir Mix-a-Lot. It's crazy to me, man. And actually, believe it or not, the real first gangster rapper was a guy named Schoolie D from Philadelphia. He wasn't like gangster rapper so much as what we've come to recognize it as. But he did something like that in 1984, 1985 or something like that. But it wasn't the same thing. But then you had KRS-One with Boogie Down Productions, who did what was called Criminal Minded in 1986. It was the album, which I was, as a white kid in the inner suburbs, I was like, that album blew me away. But the thing with KRS-One is I don't know, I had no clue how he was during COVID or anything like that. He's a pretty smart guy. Is like very interesting to listen to, very poetic and philosophical. You see what I'm saying? And then you had Ice-T. And Ice-T's first album came out in 87. That guy used to be in the infantry. You know what I'm saying? And his lyrics, I don't know if he wrote them, but his lyrics, that was really the real first gangster album stuff that came out. But he never heard anything like that. And his lyrics was so good. And again, I don't know if he wrote them. I presume he did. But again, as an older guy who had, he was literally, it wasn't just chosen. I mean, he went in the army. Maybe Ice-T did. I don't think so. But, Schoolie D he never got that big. Freaking Boogie Down Productions was pretty good. I don't think they were chosen because the way they talked was quite profound. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, you just got like guys like Snoop Dogg, Tupac, and all. It's like, what happened? All these idiots. It's crazy. And there's just no way that was just, happenstance. It's just people chose them. They took the ticket, man. Lady Gaga, and then she like Madonna, her aunt or something like that, took the ticket. When I say take the ticket, they got paid to promote evil. There's no two ways around it. And it's just scumbaggery. It is. And I hate it. I hate it. But with that said, I've come to realize, hey, yeah, John Silver, BU, right 100%, man. I don't know. Sam Nunn was probably the last conservative that I can remember, Democrat. Remember James Traficant from Ohio? Then they had to go after him. I don't even know if Sam Nunn was all that conservative, but yeah, he's definitely more conservative. His daughter ran here in Georgia, 2016, I think, and she was far lib. Selling your soul for fame, exactly. Really? I didn't know that. Did Ice Cube come from a good home? I did not know that. That's interesting. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. They're mumbling idiots saying the same message about street. It's crazy. I don't. It's like, what happened, man? Vanilla Ice. Yeah, I never got that. Bird I don't think Bird was very conservative, though. I like Bird in terms of he got it done for West Virginia. If you're driving to West Virginia, at least I haven't been there in a while, but the roads used to be beautiful because he got it done. That's just a fact. So Bird represented his state 100%. He was unequivocally unashamed to represent the good people of West Virginia. So I appreciate it. Oh, there's tons of drama with country music, dude. Tons of drama. Oh, Nashville's. I don't know if Devin's still here, but scumbags in country music, Andrew. Scumbags. And country music is probably even worse than freaking hip hop. Bird was just a cash cow. Yeah, for the people of West Virginia. Yeah, but country music, dude. Oh, they're all run by liberals. All run by liberals. You know what I'm saying? I was watching this one guy's video on who was that guy's name? I can't remember. But it's like, remember that guy, Garth Brooks? I don't know who Ty Herndon is. I'm not sure who that is. That country singer. I guarantee Ty Herndon is a country singer. I don't know who it is, but I guarantee. Because they need a gay country singer to show, look, being gay is cool. But Garth Brooks, he like had this alter ego thing. Dude, I never liked Garth Brooks. He always creeped me out. I said, that's something wrong with that guy. There's something wrong with that guy, man. And what's this chick's name? New Country. Yeah. No, well, but still, Nashville's been pretty liberal for a long time. Long time. What mattered most in 90s country? But Chris Gaines, I don't know who that is. Oh, Beyonce. I mean, yeah. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, I'm not. I do like Merle Haggard. I do like David Allen Coe. I always love Charlie Daniels. Always love Charlie Daniels. Trisha Yearwood, that's what it was. Yeah, he did. He sold out. He was big. He was huge. It was all fake. All fake. Well, fake is they presented Garth Brooks to the masses, and the masses bought it. It's crazy, man. Crazy. I mean, they just say, here's what we want you to listen to, and you're going to listen to it. Like, Willie Nelson never did anything. I never cared. I mean, he's a pretty left-wing guy. The whole Farm Aid thing was a fraud. I never cared about Willie Nelson, smoking dope and nothing like that. His music just bored me. And frankly, most of that kind of country outlaw music did. I like David Allan Coe. I like some Earl Haggard. I like some Waylon Jennings. But at the end of the day, a lot of it was still pretty boring. That's the thing about country music in the old day. I don't know if they still do it anymore, but there'd be like 2 good songs on an album and the rest was filler. And what I liked about Charlie Daniels is he wasn't really country, but more country rock. There wasn't a lot of filler. And that's the thing I liked about Southern rock. It's just not a lot of filler. In fact, all country stars from the 90s had song. Dude, so Rick Beato interviewed this guy. Oh, 38 Special. No, I'd never gotten them at all. Horrible. Always like freaking Marshall Tucker, Molly Hatchet. But Rick Beato interviewed this guy who's like a songwriter extraordinaire. And like he was saying how Tina Turner, how all these guys from all kinds of genres said, I need a boost. I'm losing. I need a boost. And he'd write some song for them. And then next thing you know, they're back to being on top. It's crazy. You're like, what? Huh? And this guy's like 71 years old. He's still writing for like Taylor Swift. Like he's got credits out. It's like, this is, I don't know how does the FTC go after this for like monopolization or something? I don't know, but it's freaking crazy. Like I'm sitting there, what? This one guy, he's writing this, he's writing that. It's like, this is crazy to me. Yeah, my wife loves Kenny Rogers. I don't like, I don't like that much country. I like, Tyler, what's his name? I got some on here. Tyler, I like the kind of, I like Chris, I like kind of like the West Virginia country. Tyler, what the hell's his name, man? And then, oh my goodness, and there's a Chris Gaines, I forgot. Tyler. Yikes, for real, Penelope? Was that because the guy next to you is your husband, I assume. What the hell's his name? Tyler Childers. Chris Stapleton, but it's not. But yes, I like him, but it's not the same guy. There's another Chris from like the. Oh man, what's his name? I haven't really listened to much Chris Stapleton. I actually, believe it or not, I like more of the with more fiddles, like old Alabama. I still like that, but there's still a lot of fiddles, a lot of filler in there. Leaving Louisiana in the broad daylight. That band, we're leaving Louisiana in the broad daylight. I still get some bluegrass. I actually just came across a band today that's pretty good, which is kind of like a almost, I don't want to say bluegrass, but we got some fiddle and some hard rock in it. It's called not Blood and Honors, Pride. What was it called? I actually like these guys quite a bit. It's called Pride and Glory. Yeah, these guys are pretty good. Got some fiddle, got some banjo in there. I just farted here. Life is good. Chris, what the hell's his name? Chris, it's not Chris Stapleton. I know who you're talking about. It's Chris. I like Whiskey Myers. That's what I like most. That like Whiskey Myers, Southern rock, countryish stuff, man. Oak Ridge Boys. Yep, I love Charlie Daniels. Freaking love Charlie Daniels, man. Chris. I'm not gonna remember this guy's name, man. Country singer. Let's see. This old beer gut I got doesn't get much longer. Marshall Tucker. That guy who sang for Marshall Tucker, first of all, was a Vietnam vet. Second of all, he just the friggin' best voice ever. I cannot believe I can't remember this guy's name. Not Chris Hiss. Definitely not Chris Christopherson. Can't stand Jelly Roll. Don't know who John Hartford is. Maine, it was you. Maybe it was you. It was you, Pulverized. Pulverized wouldn't be caught in Nashville, that's for sure. He sings this. Let me just look. Hold on a second, amigos. I got a freaking. He sings a song that's just. I can remember it. Crazy. Like his wife dies and he misses his wife, and it's just him, and it's just got his dog and it's him. I'm not sure if he played the flute, but he might have. Someone played the flute on Can't You See and other songs. Oh, man, I can't believe I can't remember this guy. It's really painful. Chris freaking West Virginia. He's from West Virginia. Country singer from West Virginia named Chris. Let me just ask Grok. Hold on, guys. Who is a country singer from West Virginia named Chris something? Oops.
Chris Darlington's the one. Independent country guy from West Virginia's Eastern Panhandle, drawing from Garth Brooks and Chris Stapleton vibes. His stuff's got that gritty, heartfelt edge, like Hold That Line for Cops. Let Him In, that hit #1.
Yeah, so Chris Darlington, he follows Garth Brooks, and his stuff's got that gritty, heartfelt edge, like Let Him In. So we know what that means. I think Chris Darlington's probably, fruity tooty. Let him in, if you know what I'm saying. All right. It's not, I don't freaking remember this guy's name. It's going to kill me, man. It's going to kill. Let me just see if I can't find. Patsy Cline was from West Virginia. I never got into Patsy Cline. I know everyone in the country got to listen to old Hank and Patsy Cline. I do like Hank Williams Jr. Hank Williams Jr. is fantastic. Or is. He's still alive. I'm not going to remember. That sounds like a paid advertisement for that guy. Whatever, 100%, man. It did. Hold on a second. I'm not going to remember him. I can't remember songs, man. Maybe it's not from West Virginia. Maybe it's Oklahoma. I don't know. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it sucks. I'll remember the minute we get off. I'll remember it. Anyway, Chris Ledoux, no, because that guy's obviously French, and real men don't like French men. That's just a fact. My name's Ledoux. Ooh. He's trying to steal my wife, a guy named Ledoux. He's like, Chris, he's so romantic because he's trying to get, but Mary Lou Retton did? Oh, man, for real? That's not good. That's not good. I mean, my music that I like is better than any of yours, so just always remember that. If I like it, it's got to be good. I don't even know who the hell Chris Ledoux is, so he's got to be bad. I certainly don't know who freaking, whatever stupid that chick just told me about, some guy from sound like Garth Brooks who said, let him in. He said, there's only one thing that when it comes to that side of a man, only things are supposed to be coming out. Nothing's supposed to be going in. So a guy saying, let him in. Yeah, dude, that's pretty fruity tooty. Jerry Eubanks played the flute for Marshall Tucker Band. Right on. Greetings from South Carolina. The Marshall Tucker Band, Greetings from South Carolina, is just freaking one of the best albums of all time. Hank Jr.'s 100%. Dixie on My Mind, Texas Woman. Dude, freaking, if heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just assume stay home. 100%. Dude, Hank Williams Jr. I don't even know if he wrote those songs. I hope he did. He probably didn't. But freaking love Hank. Hank Jr., man. Bocephus. I mean, when I first got out of the Army, I started going to college. All these idiots were playing rap music lab. And I had to put a lot of money in my stereo system. This is back in the old days when you put a lot of money in your stereo system. And I used to go around playing Hank Williams Jr. loud. And I remember this two Spanish guys looking at me. And they're like, you're like, oh, you idiot, playing Hank. Oh, dude, it was awesome. I played Charlie Daniels loud. Charlie Daniels had ain't Chris Cagle. No, it's not Chris Stapleton, but Charlie Daniels had an album called Night Rider. Lots of fiddles in it. It was fantastic. I used to love. Then he had it was just great. I loved like driving around, looking at all these idiots like, yeah, you freaking rednecks. Like, yeah, dude. Oh, it was fantastic. And then if the South would have won, we'd had it made. I'm a Yankee, by the way, and I'm proud of my Yankee heritage. But the South would have won, we had it made. Penelope's like, man, that guy Josh is such a good singer. Oh, dude, Bocephus, Hank Williams Jr., man. You got to listen to some of his old stuff, dude. It is fantastic. So, I mean, some of it's great. It's just good music. I mean, it's like you freaking, oh, man. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. Were you? Of course not. Of course not. Come on, man. I'm too damn independent to be a frat. A couple of my friends were. They liked it. I went on one of those frat. So I wasn't in, my roommate was in a frat. And a couple of my friends I was in the Army with in the National Guard were in this frat, Sigma Pi, something like that. I can't remember. And we went on, I was dating some chick from our sorority before I was dating Charlotte. And we went on one of those frat sorority things, whatever it's called. Dude, I don't know how people deal with it. It was, I mean, it's all right. I mean, it was weird though, man. I'll never forget, like it's just strange to me. It's like, I was odd. All my rowdy friends have settled down. Look at my man, Henry coming up high and yeller. And but it was okay. You know, there's some pretty hot chicks, not gonna lie to you, but it just always seemed, not for the sorority types. It just seemed odd to me. I was like, why do you guys want to act like you're in, middle school? You know, it was weird, man. I didn't like it. It was strange. And the guys are fine because guys just want to have fun, man. Guys just want to drink, have fun. They're called fraternity. Now, it wasn't a party. It's like you got dressed, like you got in the gowns and the 3-piece suit and all that stuff. Whatever the hell it's called, a mixer, not even a mixer. I don't know what it's called. I just remember, I mean, it's weird to me because just like this whole thing seems somewhat not authentic. Maybe dance with your dates. Maybe we dance. Frats a venue to an excuse to drink. I mean, I got no qualm with frats. It's not a mixer, but they call it something like a formal. That's what it's called. I mean, I got no problem with it, man. Like my son's at University of Auburn as a freshman, and he's got a roommate that's in a frat, and the roommate's doing things my son isn't doing because they're forced to do it. So the roommate's doing stuff every day that he's meeting friends easier and all that. And I get that. I mean, even when I was, I was 22 years old when I was in college, everybody else is 18, but I saw these guys, I said, man, how do you guys know each other? Oh, the fraternity. I said, that's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was working, I wasn't that big, but I could get how if you're a freshman at 18 years old and you see all the frat guys have these parties and chicks and all that stuff, you're like that. I could see how people could get into that for sure. But I'll never forget, man. Thank you, sir. I have another Rosington Collins. That guy, Gary Rosington, used to live right up there, man. Ooh, but I didn't know that he had a Rosington College band. But you ever heard the old Mississippi All Stars or something like that? That's pretty good. And Government Mule, I think those are Allman Brothers guys. Government Mule. Rosington Collins band. That's pretty good. Southern Rock's going to make a huge comeback. You heard it here first. But what was I saying about but I can see why people want to join a fraternity. I just, I'd been in the Army as 22 years old. I wasn't going to rush with these stupid idiots who are younger than me and tell me what I say. I'm not doing all that stuff. But I tell my son, I said, look, you can join a frat if you want. I don't care. I'm not going to pay for it, but I get it, man. You know what I'm saying? But the sorority stuff, like, you go there, what they're doing like paper, freaking construction paper stuff. And I went to George Mason, and it's more of a commuter school, Paul. But I went to George Mason, and that's what I'm going to say, in Fairfax, Virginia. But I'll never forget, I was sitting there. So I was in, I'll never forget, there's this one freaking smoking hot Asian chick. And I liked her. We're friends, but she was hot, dude. You know what I'm saying? And we knew each other as freshmen. Remember, I was 22 and I was working in a bar. She was only 18, and we didn't date or anything like that. But we're friends. We used to have like study groups with other people and stuff like that. But she was freaking smoking hot. And I remember the next year as a sophomore, she had joined a sorority, and she wasn't very nice after that. It was weird. I said, "What happened to you, man?" It's like, I mean. It's odd. I remember because we're like friendly, you know what I'm saying? It was like, we joke and all the stuff. And, it's like, and we weren't dating or anything like that. I would have, but I was, dating some other chicks. But anyway, I was like, and then it's just, I thought she was just like, kind of weird. And I was like, and then I saw with some other chicks. I was like, so when you go to these sororities, you got to kind of be not rude, but what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of brushing off people that aren't in your little mix there. That's strange to me. Friends are overrated. I don't know who you guys talk about. Yeah, I didn't watch Animal House because I like women. So I guess you guys did. Never watched that movie because I like women. But however, my man Matt from Quantum of Conscious was talking on his video today. He said Animal House is one of the biggest truth drops you'll ever see. Us conspiracy guys are always looking for truth drops. Like the Princess Bride, lots of truth drops there. Animal House apparently. Standoff. It wasn't standoffish Penelope, but I remember I was like, hey, we'll call her freaking Penelope. I said, hey, Penelope, what's going on for the summer? She was fun. Oh, okay, cool. What did you do? Not much. Hung out with my sorority. I was like, okay. And it's just like, because we were like, I'm going to say tight, but we had a good relationship. Yes. Well, we don't have a football team because we like to be educated, but they did go to the Final Four like in 2003 or something like that. You know, standoffish is a little bit less than standoffish, but you get it, 100%. Penelope Smart, believe it or not, from California. Probably smart than all you other guys because she's a woman. And MGTOW. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Liam and I are going to watch a movie. And I forgot where we're watching, but he picked something out. I want to watch The Ladies' Man. Remember that black guy on Saturday Night Live? I forgot his name. The Ladies' Man. They had this clips of The Ladies' Man. Dude, it's so friggin' funny. The new kid's called Being Bougie. Good riddance. Well, damn, Boss Tweet is pissed at me. He's like, good riddance, get the hell out of here. He's like, someone else gotta. Anyway, The Ladies, dude, I haven't seen the movie. I'm sure it's stupid, but the clips are freaking. The Ladies' Man with I forgot the black guy's name. So friggin' funny. So a gay guy calls in. Oh my God. Oh, and then a fat chick calls in. Dude, it's so funny, man. The Ladies' Man. I'm sure Saturday Night Live would never do that ever again. It was almost like, remember Politically Incorrect Private Investigator with Phil Hartman? They took that off because it's so funny. He's going to watch Steel Magnolias. Oh, my goodness. That's funny, Andrew. So funny. I forgot to laugh. Anyway, I was going to watch that, but Liam wants to watch this one suspense, I guess like some Korean detective show or something like that. Sounds like a great guy movie, dude. Stupid funny, 100%, man. I haven't watched the movie. I'm sure the movie's dumb. Trust me. But it sounds like it's going to be like Naked Gun. I love Naked Gun. The first Naked Gun movie was one of the funniest movies of all time. Wife just walked in and said, hey, right on, Jill. She's like, hey, Josh, don't forget, tell my husband how to be a man. I saw that everybody's all American. That is, yeah, I saw that. That's not good. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. God bless. Appreciate y'all being here. So 15 minutes of commentary about Vanguard and the rest of talking schmacky. So all the people in the comments, would you ever talk about the top? What they say, clickbait. You never talk about the topic. We did talk about Vanguard for about 15 minutes. So all you clickbait people who say, and then Georgia won. My man, what's the guy's name? Fern Fins showed us that Georgia could take it out, the program or Rudy. And Rudy was stupid. I didn't like that. I never saw the program. All right, I'm out. We'll see you guys.